Revolving Games' open sale on Seedify is tomorrow. I wanted to make this video because I don't really see any other videos online talking about what you really need to know about the Revolving Games node sale. I am someone that's gone ahead and invested over $6,000 in public on the Revolving Games node sale 2 months ago. We got the lowest tiers in the game. Everyone that followed this video got the lowest tiers in the game with code JM. They also got a discount code. It also works during this open sale. I'll be telling you about what is the second lowest opportunity, not the first one. You should have been here early to get into Revolving Games and everything you need to know. So let's get right into it. I want to talk about the overall space. I've spent a ridiculous amount of time just collaborating with all of these different crypto gaming projects. And one common theme that I understand clear as day is that gaming as a niche is still very immature. We have these gaming projects from last cycle, which, to be honest with you, are probably overvalued and are practically dead at this point, have tried to pivot to other things. There is so much room right now for a brand new king of crypto gaming to arise. And the crypto node narrative, and the reason we call it the node king, is because I believe that one of these node projects, given the increased funding that they have, these ecosystem plays are going to drive the new top king crypto gaming project forward. Is it going to be Revolving Games? I personally don't know. I'm not here to go ahead and say Revolving Games is going to be the next billion-dollar token, but I am here to say that Revolving Games definitely is positioned akin to many of the different node sales that we're talking about to make it. And if we properly split up and allocate capital between all of these different node sales, then we're in a pretty good position to be able to capitalize on the next Gala or the next Beam or the next Immutable. Because sure as hell, come Q1, we are going to have a new king of crypto gaming. And that's going to be decided very soon, which is why we're getting into so many of these different node sales right now before the absolute insane altcoin explosion that's going to come in Q1 of 2024. So let's get into some of the facts with Revolving Games. One of their strategic partners is 𝐷, and right now 𝐷 is at an $841 million fully diluted valuation. These guys have gone ahead and invested into Revolving Games as well, which for me, I personally believe that in terms of node sales, 𝐷 has been our strongest performer so far. So of course, it 100% reinvigorates faith that if 𝐷 is bullish on Revolving Games, I'm definitely going to go ahead and be just that little bit more bullish on what Revolving Games is building. They've also gone ahead and raised $25 million for the seed round. Don't think that this is the current round. They are going to be raising more capital with their node sale. This was back in September 9th, 2022. Pantera Capital was the one going ahead and leading this round. Pantera is a big fund in the space. So them getting in here was always something that I personally did like. Here's the big announcement and some new stuff that have come to light other than the stuff that I've covered in my past video talking about Revolving Games. Revolving Games announced a strategic partnership with 𝐷. 𝐷 actually went ahead and acquired $500,000 worth of 𝐷, which is about 0.06% of the total 𝐷 allocation in scout nodes for their upcoming public node sale. I mean, it's huge. They're integrating 𝐷 ID, and they're just making sure that these two projects are together. I remember this is a project that right now is at 840 million FDV. I want you to remember this because when we get to the moon math, when I tell you the exact valuations for this node sale and where I think this will be attractive and where I think this won't be attractive, this number is going to be extremely important. So keep in mind, 843 million FDV. Other new things that have come out for Revolving Games since then, they have gone ahead and teased on a playtest Project Nova. It's one of their game, a 4x grand strategy game that's going to be on chain, which Revolving Games scout nodes are going to play a critical part in. I've only heard about good things when it comes to Project Nova. So considering this and considering many creators that are not sponsored, by the way, by Revolving Games, they're just people that have played this game, have given a positive reception to it, is only further adding on to the narrative that as a publisher, Revolving Games can stand the test, at least with decent odds in the crypto gaming space. In terms of what they have gone ahead and done in terms of experience, they've collectively generated about $3 billion at previous companies. I mean, you can talk about the team highlights all day and all the different places that they've worked in. I don't want to sugarcoat that. So let's just go ahead and see what they've done on chain. They've had 10,000 ETH in NFT trading volume, which is an enormous amount. They have 2 million accounts, 1 million wallets, 450,000 DAU. I mean, enormous VCs, enormous VCs. In terms of the launches, I mean, you see the node sale. This is happening now. The dashboard, the arcade TGE, which is, of course, exactly what we're looking forward to. This is a publishing company that's going to have more than 10 games coming out fairly soon-ish, if we had to say the soonish part. In terms of their the big boys that are leading the charge, we have Amar, which is their co-founder. We have 𝐷, which is their co-founder. And then we have Cheyenne, which is also their co-founder and president. They have 150 employees and staff, over 40 years working in the gaming industry, and 2 international game studios. In terms of like this entire ecosystem and what's going on right now, Arcade Foundation is launching a token. This is very standard in the crypto industry. Having a foundation launch a token, take care of it. The Arcade ecosystem is going to have a technology partner, which is Starling's network. And then, of course, the games partner, which is the big catalyst that we're looking forward to, which is what we're talking about today, Revolving Games. In terms of their node sale structure and timeline, it's going to start on November 14th, 1 p.m. UTC, and end at November 18th, 1 p.m. UTC. If you see here, the price per node is $288. And I don't know about you, but if you did see my other video, my first video, it was way cheaper. We got like 50% off. However, it is still cheaper than public sale. It is a 20% discount over the public sale price of $360. And on top of that, if you use my code, which is JM, the letter JM, you get a further 5% discount code. So that's 25% discount over the public sale price. In terms of vesting, I believe that the new golden era of nodes has introduced airdrops. Airdrops are the big thing. If your crypto node does not have airdrops, it likely isn't worth your time. To be able to have a percentage of your tokens on launch is an enormous deal. If a token goes up 10x and you get 10% of your tokens, you instantly get your money back. I mean, it's just easy as that. So you want to have that ability and opportunity there. And that's why 10% of the tokens here for Arcade are being unlocked at TGE for these nodes, and 90% are going to be distributed over 3 years. So we get 90% of these tokens for long-term holders. The logic is we get these long-term holders that are diehards. If they make their money back, they're going to keep fighting for a brand for years to come. It's 100% true. If you made $1 million off of Arcade, be honest with me, you really wouldn't be a maxi? You wouldn't be a maxi at all. Of course you'd be a maxi. Anyone with their right mind would become a maxi for Arcade. And so that's the logic behind this, to support the early supporters, make them happy so that they can support you for years to come. Of course, lots of node projects don't do that. Some do. It's really just kind of a coin flip to see which one ends up being that. Now, in terms of currency, it's going to be Ethereum on Arbitrum. So Ethereum Arbitrum, make sure you're going ahead and understanding this. Very important. Also, there is no S fund required for the Seedify sale, no registration, and also no KYC required to buy the node. With this being said, if you're someone from a forbidden territory, I personally use RNSID. RNSID is the Palau ID. It is 100% legal. It's a digital residency program. Helps you with the KYC verification for nodes. I personally use Palau. Don't have an affiliate link, but I'll leave the link anyway, so you can go ahead and take best advantage of this if you're someone that is interested. It does take about 3 weeks to get, but something you should definitely be looking into. So in terms of the exact specifics here, they're doing about 37,500 licenses in total. And of course, starting at the exact same time we talked about earlier, Revolving Games is also using their tech partner EaseFlow. I actually really like EaseFlow. We use personally EaseFlow. They're like the only node operators out there that I feel like are doing things ethically in the right way. So for me, I'm completely fine with paying what I need to pay for EaseFlow. I'll also be leaving a link. I am using EaseFlow on my Aether and Carve nodes right now, and I'm planning on running them for my 𝐼 agents, and the many other nodes. I mean, if you look at it right here, you'll see they have Rivals, a project we're going to be doing, Revolving Games. We have SoFun, which we also got into, Huddle, Moonveil, a bunch of projects. Honestly, like a lot of projects are doing stuff on EaseFlow. So if you haven't looked already, these guys, they're the real deal. They're nice people. They deserve the success that they have. So shout out to EaseFlow. Other things, their tokenomics. The Arcade tokenomics are insane, like insane for nodes. How many node projects do you know give 50% of their supply for nodes? 50%. 12% of the supply goes to airdrops. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of the supply going to airdrops and nodes. It's 62% of the supply going to community rewards, and a vast majority of it going to these nodes. These nodes, they don't have insane valuations. They don't have an insane price. In fact, if you look at the nodes that I have gone ahead and accumulated, I'm completely transparent here. I've gotten about, in terms of 𝐵𝐴RCADE, you get this for farming these nodes, these scout nodes before the token actually launches. I've already accumulated 523,467 of these 𝐵𝐴RCADE tokens, which will be converted into the actual arcade token once this thing launches. You can go ahead and plug in, this is what I'm doing right now. You plug in these scout nodes, and that way you can get this 𝐵𝐴RCADE token. It's just very simple. You don't have to pay anything. It's just a way for them to give you that airdrop before TGE and give you that bonus for plugging in your nodes. So if you get in now on this open sale, I don't think the TGE is tomorrow. You'll be able to get some of that 𝐵𝐴RCADE, and you will be able to get a bit of an advantage. Do I plan on buying more nodes for arcade? To be completely honest with you, likely a small amount. I think I didn't invest enough before. I usually invest a little bit more on my higher allocation plays. With this being said, do your own due diligence, please, because like this thing is high risk as always. Every altcoin that is less than $1 billion, even the ones above it, are still high risk. So do your own research. But for me, it's made a lot of sense. And to make it make a little bit more sense for you, I want to get into the next section of this video, the meat and potatoes of the video, and probably why you came, why I bought these nodes, and the valuations to look after when it comes to these things. So this is the node tier structure and pricing for arcade right now. Tier 1s to 5 are going to have these prices for them. I'll actually go ahead and zoom in so you can see it. $360 on average here for tiers 1 to 3, and then it goes to $440, $480 for tier 4 and 5. Now, the valuation implied at 100% participation rate, which I've never seen before. 100% is like a lot. Usually it's like 70 to 90. So you get a little bit more value here than you think you'll get. It's 60 million. 60 million implied FTV. And that's implied. So we're not sure. We're not sure what the FTV is going to be. We're not sure. So don't quote me here. But the FTV for Carve right now is 849 million. Another project, Aether, that we got into as well. These guys, we bought in at 250 to 350 mil FTV. They're at 2.52 billion FTV, which is a lot higher, a heck of a lot higher than what you are looking at right now at 60 million FTV. Remember, this is going ahead and being dispersed over the course of several years. It will likely go ahead and go up over time because tokens go ahead and get introduced. But right now, that is a very attractive FTV for me. Is it more attractive at 80 million? No. It's the most attractive at 60 million at its lowest. If you use code JM, you get the lowest FTV. We all want to get the lowest FTV. So I would say if you can get these first 3 tiers, if you are awake the second that this sale goes live, then you're going to have the highest chance and likely will probably be able to get this 60 million FTV. And that's the golden goose. If I can get this 60 mil FTV, I will be buying more nodes. If it goes to 80, 100, 200 million, like if it just keeps going, it's not attractive for me. It just stops being attractive. But as long as we can get on these earlier tiers, then we get the Node King narrative. It's exactly what it needs to be. Next thing I want to show is the Scout Node Reward estimations. Now let's go ahead and, I don't know, just say for whatever reason, Arcade is at 200 million FTV. Just an estimation. It's no guarantee. If you went ahead and grabbed these nodes, every single node would make $25 per month. And by 12 months, they would have made about $300 per node. Now, with these details being said, this is 200 million FTV. If we go back A node at a 25% discount is $270, which means by month 11, if the price stays at a 200 million FTV, then at month 11, you would have made 275, you would have paid off the node. It's over. You paid it off. Now, let's say you did a bit better. We're doing all right here. We're killing it. And this token moons, right? Month 4 here would be your ROI. Take you 4 months to hit ROI, $250, maybe a little bit more. Let's be conservative. Month 5 here, $312. That's 5 months for ROI at 500 million. Do I think Arcade is going to hit 1 billion FTV? Now, to be honest with you, I'm not here to spread delusion. That's going to be hard to hit. If it hits it, then, I mean, we're going to be over the moon. We are all going to be killing it. And it's going to take approximately maybe 2.5 months maximum to get your ROI on these things and then continue to hold them over the course of the feature. And I'm not talking about the airdrop, by the way. I'm just talking about node rewards. With the airdrop, this would be even faster than what I'm giving you right now. What do I tell people? Don't take the highest valuation. You could say, hey, maybe there's a chance it goes to $1 billion. There really is a chance. Anything can happen in crypto. We know what's happening with Bitcoin and altcoins. Is there a chance for it to hit 500 million? Sure. But I would take the lowest scout node reward estimation, and that would be what I would base my purchase off of. If I'm like, okay, what in a pretty like medium to bad scenario, what should we be expecting? If we can expect an 11-month ROI with the airdrops, etc., for me, that's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. They have a huge allocation over the next 3 years as well, which we're going to be able to benefit from. Remember, though, this bull cycle is not going to last forever. It is not going to last forever. One day, the Bitcoin price is going to tumble down 50+%. I would expect either in March or in September, November. The likely scenario, because of what's happened with the volume in crypto right now, I do think September is in play. However, I'm not someone that's crazy. I know that January to March is going to be that big sell point that we want to see these big valuations and enormous gaming plays come. If Arcade can capitalize and launch before we get this huge gaming run and solidify themselves as one of the best node plays in the industry, then I think that 500 million, 1 billion FTV is at play. If they cannot do that and they just become any other crypto gaming projects that raised a bunch of money and has nodes, I do think 200 million is that estimate for me. And if I can get at the 60 million implied fully dilution, which is likely conservative, then for me, it just kind of makes sense. So that's why I have gone ahead and gotten into the Revolving Games node sale. I hope I taught you something. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. There's more videos up here for you to see if you want to learn more about crypto, and I'll see y'all on the next one.